right. Good morning, everybody. Morning, Gary and Art Curtis. My name's Aaron Williams. There's Wesley and Michael Logan. Good morning, everybody. Just getting started. This is maximizing social media engagement for tobacco education. As Sarah said, hope we all been enjoying the training summit so far. I personally have been too busy to take on many of the classes. Anyways, so we're going to get started. I got a lot of information to get through. Hopefully we can get through it and we'll have time for questions at the end and a little workshopping. So go ahead and share my screen. Okay, everybody see that?
Yes, we can.
All right, here we go. All right, objectives, basic visual design elements, learn how to increase the reach of social media posts. Thirdly, how to use social media analytics. So visual design elements, kind of the heart of any social media post, what it looks like. First thing is you want to keep it simple. We're going to be going through and showing a few examples of social media posts, good and bad, and in between, and things you can improve on. Even good social media posts can still be improved, unless it's a viral video or something like to that effect. But visually in our line of work, a lot of times we have social media posts that don't keep it simple, and sometimes things get cluttered either in visually or in the description or in the caption. So anyways, we're going to go through and talk about how to clean it up and keep things simple and simplify simplify posts for Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Second part of visual design element is emphasize what's important. And by that I mean you want to have your main thing highlighted, underlined, in bold. You want a clear, concise message. You want to have your you want the important stuff to stick out. and to do that, we'll also use tiny URLs or bit.ly shortened URLs to achieve that. And by using those, you'll be able to measure your engagement through clicks and likes, comments, and through the analytics. And the third thing is using branding on photos and videos to increase brand awareness by having your brand on your media. It gives a nice little polish, a little more authenticity, a little more professional looking. Then a lot of times we'll make social media posts for events and it'll be a little slapdash, and it doesn't really look all that appealing. So if your social media post doesn't look polished, how's your presentation going to look? So, all right, boom. So this is one of the things we want to avoid. No, nothing against the Bad River tribe, but this is something that we see these all the time. These powwow flyers. Visually, like it's a lot going on, and we're living in an age where things on paper don't always translate to digital. And this is the perfect example. It just comes up on your screen. If you're looking at it on your phone, it's hard to read. There's a lot going on. Can anybody tell me where this is at within like the first 10 seconds of looking at it?
The only thing I can figure out is it's at Bad River. Nope.
No.
Yep. Nope. Can't figure it out.
Yeah. Odenau, Wisconsin. It's up in there somewhere.
Oh, I see it now. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So this is what we're trying to avoid. You want to keep things a lot simple. For something like this, you can post it. I'll show you a way that we can make things a little bit simpler. Something like this. This is something that one of our programs here, Southern Plains, has been doing. They farm this out to another organization to create this, but it is a great example of what we're striving for. It's very simple. You can see that in the first lines of the caption, it's got an action, 3 steps to healthy, sexy times. It's funny, kind of adds interest, and it tells you what you want. It gives you an actionable item. Text test to native test to 55251. And then in the photo, there's 2 photos, and both of the photos image fit in within the boundaries of the media, because this is taken off my phone. So you see the 3 steps, tells you 3 steps to do, and then in the next photo, text native test. That gives you a clear idea of what this post is about, what it wants you to do. This is more of what we want. So when you're making social media posts, the main key ingredient is content. And there's no substitute for great content. Using photos, and you can have a text post. That's fine if you're just trying to if you want to quote somebody, or if you just want to shoot a quick, post out about, a short message, some kind of inspirational quote or something like that. But if you really want to add interest, you want to use photos and videos. And anymore, most of the social media sites are pushing for videos, and that's something we've kind of got to get more involved in. And some of the apps are making it easier to do that. Instagram is really pushing their reels and their carousels, and that's more video based. Another thing you want to consider for great content is you could use memes. Memes for humor. Make sure they're suitable for work. Not all memes are suitable for work. Don't want to get anybody in trouble. A third quality of content is shareable. It's stuff you see something and you want to share with somebody, and that content is an easy thing to do. Is use community members, family members, because people like seeing people they know in stuff. Like, I don't know if anybody's watched Reservation Dogs recently, but I know I've seen a few friends in it, and it's pretty cool to see them on screen. So I'll show you an example here in a second. Use concise descriptions and avoid repeating information. A lot of times we'll have a photo like the powwow flyer with all the information on the flyer, then we'll repeat that information in the description. And that's just kind of a waste of space, because you can already see that information and you're just repeating it twice. When you could either have a simplified description and a link to the flyer, or have alternate information. Using appropriate hashtags. We'll talk about hashtags here a little bit more in a little bit, but using appropriate hashtags. Hashtags are a tool to categorize your posts. So when you click on a hashtag, depending on the social media platform, whether it's Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, you'll kind of get a different result. For Instagram, It's anymore. Hashtags are for like categorizing content. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Another thing about content, you need to have content that's appropriate for the audience you're trying to approach. Who are you targeting, and be specific. You don't want to target everybody, because you might miss out on the people you really want to target. Like, for instance, you'll want to either, if you're having a training and you want to target clinicians, clinical people, you'll want to have you'll be able to post at times when they're more likely to see it, or if you're wanting to have post educational information for youth, you'll want to have a different tone in your content. If you're wanting to, if you really want to have an idea of who you're targeting, you just don't want to have a one size fits all approach to a post. If you have that, then people will see it and they'll want to click on it. They'll think it's not for them, or it'll be too overly broad. And I'll show a few examples of what happens when people do that. And usually those posts kind of bland and not very interesting, because you're trying to appease too many people when you really just need to focus on one specific population. Using new features. Every platform is constantly rolling out new features. And if you're looking to really get in and have an impact social media wise, you want to familiarize yourself with new features. Like I kind of mentioned earlier about you want to switch into video. People that utilize new features will often have their posts pushed more than people that just stick to the old format. And especially with Instagram and Twitter, if they have something new, you'll get a little bit of a boost. And then if you get more engagement that way, their algorithms will push your post more. So here's a couple of examples of visually interesting content. This one on the left is Miles Robert Stevenson. It's from the Wichita Affiliated Tribe. They had billboards created, and the billboards did really well, obviously, but they used this photo in their Facebook as a Facebook post, and their Facebook post got huge amount of hits, and is really pretty successful for a couple of reasons. It highlighted an elderly tribal member, the oldest tribal member that they had, and sadly he's passed on since. But this billboard still lives on, and people saw it and recognized him. They commented on it. It got a lot of clicks and engagement. People sharing it because that's their grandpa, uncle. So anyways, that's one thing to keep in mind whenever you want to creating content. On the right side is one of my first ads we put together with the creative department here at Southern Plains, and it looks pretty nice. There's a couple of things I want to point out. Whenever you're creating an image like this, and you want to emphasize what's important. Here we made a little bit of a rookie mistake and emphasized the wrong words. So the two biggest words that stick out are what? No help.
Oh, yeah.
So if you see that no help that's in your mind, that kind of sticks. Ideally, it should have been, just help would have been a better option. But emphasizing the no is kind of is a negative kind of, and so no judgments, just help on its own sounds nice, but when you emphasize the no help, it kind of sends the wrong message. But anyways, that's my mom wearing her Dentalia shelter dress in the background. So she's a good sport for letting me take photos. And another thing is you notice the branding on both of these. When you're working with organizations, they will have branding guides, and it's important to keep those in mind. You don't want them to be too small, or otherwise it doesn't look, professional enough. Here, these are for what they were. This was a print ad, and they ended up looking pretty good. Even though it looks really small here, it was a half-page print ad, so it was much bigger when you saw it in person. So whenever you're out and about and you're looking to take photos of community people or friends and relatives for social media posts, it's always a good idea to find your organization's photo release forms. They're not always necessary if it's a public space, and if you're going to be using the photos in a non-monetary way, but these are always good to have on hand just in case something comes up. And say you got a really good photo of somebody and it looks fantastic, and you ended up using it in your social media post, and then they see it and they don't like it and they ask you to take it down. You want to stay on everybody's good side. So if you're out and about, have one of these, have one of these on hand, or a few of them. And as an old photographer, an old trick to keep people from reading it, you have it folded in half, and you say you take somebody's photo, and you ask them, oh, I got this photo. Do you mind signing this release? And you fold it in half and just have them show them the signature part, and you tell them what the top half is. You show it to them and say, oh, it's just standard language saying that we have your permission to use your image and likeness in advertisements and yada yada yada, and just have them sign the bottom part. And it simplifies it, because people start reading it, they'll start thinking, oh, they're trying to scam me or something. So anyways, old trick is just to fold it in half and talk to them about it. But if anybody needs a template, I think this should be added on to some of the materials that I had for the class. All right. So as I said, knowing your audience, one of the important things is when to post. Anymore, there's a lot of ways to post using third-party apps to time your post out. With Facebook. Facebook Meta Business Suite has a functionality where you can have your posts timed out. You can either post plan to be posted at any time you want, and it works out pretty well. According to Sprout Social, they're a social media business. They have gone through and they have compiled these times through thousands and thousands of posts when it's best to post things. This is just a general guideline, but if you really think about it, when people are looking at social media, professionals, generally check their Facebooks in the morning before, they get started at work, at lunch. If you're like my mom and dad, you check your Facebook after dinner while Wheel of Fortune's on. So according to them, best times on Facebook, Monday through Friday, 3 a.m. That's pretty early. That's an odd time, but this is what their data uh, shows. Tuesdays at 10 a.m. and noon. The best days to post on Facebook, Tuesdays through Fridays. Worst days, Saturdays. So looking at that, Saturday probably not. It was, not a good day to post. So it's something to keep in mind. Instagram a little bit different. It's more visually driven, a little bit younger crowd. So Mondays at 11 a.m., Tuesdays and Wednesdays 10 a.m. to 1. And that's right around lunchtime-ish. Thursdays and Friday 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Best days to post, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Worst days to post on Sundays. So, if you know your crowd, if it's a little bit a younger crowd, then that makes kind of sense. Kids getting ready for school or they're at lunch, they got A/B schedule, who knows. All right, what do we got next? So, another important part of social media is hashtags. And this is one of those things people get really caught up in trying to figure out the magical combination of hashtags, which hashtags work, which hashtags don't work. And we're gonna talk about this a little bit and kind of demystify hashtags. So, a brief history of hashtags. What are hashtags, Bueller? Is anybody got any, guesses as where they started? Originally, hashtag started was a tool for photographers, and photographers used them to categorize their photos. If they're taking a photo at the beach, give the date, location, what beach it is. Became a real simple way for photographers to keep track of their photos, like on Flickr or Instagram or whatever they're storing their photos. It's a good way to keep track of your photos. Well, then I don't know, probably between 2010 2015, marketers got a hold of the hashtags and realized this is something we could monetize and use to push. I got your Frito-Lay challenge here written down. And you'll notice, there's a huge boom and hashtags were everywhere. On the Super Bowl, I remember one year Super Bowl, everything had a hashtag. And hashtags were everywhere. That kind of ruined it for everything. That kind of ruined the hashtag for a little bit. On Instagram, people were putting hashtags that made no sense. There were Coca-Cola was running a special special giveaways, and you had to use the Coca-Cola hashtag, or these different companies were using hashtags for their marketing purposes, and it really kind of diluted what they're meant for. Hashtags don't necessarily expand your reach. Like I said, you should look at them as tools to categorize your content and to help you understand what a post is. So if you look at we'll look at a few posts here in a couple minutes, just to give you an idea. But they are useful. They do have a purpose. You can use them to identify partners. A lot of times, organizations will have their own hashtags. Like ours is hashtag SPTHB. We've got a couple others. We've got a native tests, hashtag native tests. We've got hashtag known, Native World Health Network. So there, different programs have their own hashtags, and if you're working with them or you have a post that might be related, it's always good to tag them. If I'm making a tobacco post, I'll always tag Oklahoma Tobacco Helpline and OK to Quit. That way, it just kind of keeps your partnerships, it keeps them involved, and it gets them traffic, gets you traffic, and it works both ways. So hashtags and the hashtags purpose varies from platform to platform. Like on Twitter, hashtags have a very different purpose. Hashtags often lead to different conversations around the same topic. Whereas, on Instagram, it's more around visual, more visual, based on visuals on the photos. But hashtags, should describe the photo or video, the content, or the niche. By niche, I mean that it should describe, like if it's tobacco health related, or if it's oral health, or if it's for an event, it should somehow describe that thing. What is the wrong way to use a hashtag? This happens all the time. I've already talked about it a little bit. Adding superfluous hashtags that have no business, Frito-Lay challenge, Pepsi challenge, etc. Adding those to your it's really bad on TikTok right now. They're using the marketing way, for I think the popular one right now is what is it? The Hyundai challenge or something like that. But it really has nothing to do. You add it to it, and when a hashtag gets so many people use it, it loses its meaning. So it's always best to come up with hashtags that have purpose, that's meaningful to you and to the photo. And it's always best to only use a few hashtags. You can use a lot of hashtags if you want. That's not going to increase the engagement at all. If anything, it'll make your posts look kind of like a crazy person. Because you see some posts with like 30 hashtags, and you're like, what's going on here? It's too much. So yeah, Facebook and Instagram hashtags are more like subject categories. And then Twitter hashtags are for various conversations. Hashtags are a tool to make your content more discoverable. Great hashtags are not replacements for great content. So that's a good rule to keep in mind. You can have all the best hashtags. It's still not going to replace good content. Good content is what is most important in social media posts. All right. So here are a few images. Let's see how much time we got. We'll have to come back to this a little bit later, but I was gonna see if this would work. I don't know if this is gonna work or not.
25 minutes, so you're good.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah, we'll come back to this at the end. So here's some more of Twitter posts and a Facebook post from one of our programs. I'm using this because it's one of the newest, and I really enjoy this campaign we've got going on. This is a Facebook post on the mobile side. This is just to show you how things are formatted and how they look between mobile and on the desktop. So on mobile, clear, concise, action items, text native tests. Let's see, is it clickable now? And whenever you're writing your captions out, it's good to keep in mind what's above and below the see more, the see more link click. If you look here, see, do the laser pointer. Okay. Okay. There was a laser pointer function somewhere. I don't know where it went. Well, anyways, the see more. You can't have that in mind whenever you're writing your captions. I think you get, let's see, I want to say, I don't know, like 130-ish characters above the see more. And below the see more is where you want to have your hashtags. Like here it is on the mobile side or the desktop side. Spicy natives, natives know your status, natives get tested. You want to have those below that because it just makes it visually more appealing, and it highlights your the important information doesn't get washed away. So you want to tag partners in the hashtags. Hashtags at the bottom of the post are less visually appealing, and they'll still function. So even though you can't see it, the see more the hashtags still work. So, and here's another example of some Facebook posts. This is on the computer side, and this is a good post because it's funny. Oklahoma native uncles, everyone needs self-care. I wanted to point out STI. You really want to research. You want to look up your hashtags before you use them. Because if you just look up hashtag STI, that comes up with a bunch of car posts, like a Volkswagen STI. So here it's like STI self-test that differentiates it from the cars. And then over here on the virtual max loan administration training, I wanted to point this out because this is a good use of using a QR code. So you can set your training up, and you can set it a training up in Facebook events, and have that link. And instead of having all the information in the caption area, you could just have a QR code in the post, or you could have a tiny URL in the caption area for them to click on, and it'll take them to the event page, which will have all the information. And instead of using up all your space in the caption area to write what the training's about, who's going to be there, it keeps it a lot simpler. And this is what this does. All right. So we're going on to some partners. Oklahoma Tobacco Helpline, TSET, great partners. All their content is highly curated, is usually is really top notch. Here we have. That's what I said. You want to use the format. Make sure the format's right for the post you're using. So on this quitting tobacco at any age, this Twitter post. Let's click on it and see if this works. Oh. All right. Can y'all see that? Is the Twitter page up?
It is, yes, we can see it.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Good. So when you click on it, and when you look at this tweet, you don't really get a full picture of what this is about. And I'm not trying to dog on TSET and their social media. It's always really great. But this format didn't really fit what they're trying to do here. So if you click on the photo, then it pops up. It's like, oh, okay. What happens to your body when you stop smoking? And it kind of goes into its own little thing. It could have been, might have been a better way to do this. And I'm going to show you that next with this one. So this is the Instagram post. And this is using the Instagram stories. Oh, there we go. Oh, the story. Okay. So this would have been much better. And it's kind of, and using this newer feature, it's I think you get up to 10 chances to show a story. Yeah, you have all these things lined up, and it's a good way to it's a good way to tell a story and to create interest. But you want to be able to keep through each one of those. You want to be able to increase your engagement and make sure that each one furthers, the furthers your message. Because you don't want someone to click on it and get bored halfway through and then click off of it. You want to be able to stick around for the whole thing. So you kind of want to build up to a big finish. So, anyway, that's why I want to stick these on here, just to show you what the carousel look like. All right. All right. Let's see. All right, moving on. Yeah, using analytics. I'm going to take you to our SBTHB's business suite and kind of show you the back end. Each organization, if you have the ability, and the organization has its own business page, you'll have this meta business suite. And you might not have access to it. You might want to talk to your social media person, your IT person, to see if you can get access. To be if you're a administrator for the page, you get access to this. All right. So on the analytics side, let's see, home insights. So this is where you'll find out how well your posts are doing. Otherwise, this shows up every time. Okay. It's a lot to take in. We're gonna just take a look at a couple of posts. Look at this one. So here, this is the one post I showed you earlier. It's got 18 reactions, 3 comments, and 3 shares. And it's one of our better performing posts for the health board. Its reach is 645 people. Comments 24. It's one of the better performing ones. And from this you can tell, this was scheduled. You can see when it was scheduled to post, and it'll let you know. It'll let you know how you're doing. Let's see if we go back. Let me look at some other ones. I'll try to find an Instagram one here. Uncles. Let's see. All right, here's another one. It's not as performing as well. It's about midway. 2 reactions, 0 shares, and so this might have been able, could have been done a little bit differently, maybe. It's posted at 2:22 in the afternoon. Might have got more airtime if it had been posted at a different time, maybe. reach is 150. So anyways, if you have the ability to look at your analytics, it really helps you to keep an eye on it, and that way you can judge which posts are doing well, which are not doing well, and try to figure out what you can change to increase engagement. Let's see. What did I just show you? Let's see. Add summary. Nope. Oh, planner. Okay. And the good thing with the Meta Suite is you can plan out your posts. Like you can see here, we got all these posts planned for different times. It really helps when you got several people working on the same Facebook. You can see who's got what planned when, and that way you're not stepping on anybody's toes or competing for the same spot. I know this happened to us in the past quite a bit. I'll want to post something tobacco related, and then 10 minutes later something else comes out, and it kind of overrides what you just posted. And another thing from this page, you can also create posts. You can create your Instagram stories. You can create Facebook stories. You can create regular posts. You can see the ballpark posts are not performing as well. It could be because who knows? It could be because the flyers got a lot of information on it. And also it's baseball. Not everybody likes baseball. So,
Aaron, you have about 10 minutes left, and then we also have one question. I just wanted to give you a heads up.
All right, thank you.
Of course.
All right, let's get out of here. Okay, so to show you Twitter analytics, Twitter likes to very much similar. For each Twitter post, in the left hand, in the right bottom of your Twitter feed, in each post is a Twitter analytics. I should have went over this first, I guess. Some of the definitions: an impression, the number of times your content is displayed, no matter if it's clicked or not. So if somebody's strolling across their feed and they saw it, that's an impression. The reach is the number of people that actually see your content. So somebody getting impressions can count more than once, whereas reach is just the one time. And engagement is when somebody likes, replies, or shares. So, okay. So let me show you what the Twitter analytics look like quickly. So this is my Twitter. So view tweet analytics. 11 impressions, 6 engagements, 6 detail expands. So Twitter gives a little bit different information. So 11 impressions. Time this tweet was seen on Twitter. I could have changed that. I posted it really late at night. I was up late and I thought it was funny, so I shared it. Engagements, total number of times user has interacted with a tweet. Clicks anywhere on the tweet, including hashtags, links, avatar, blah, blah, blah. And detail expands, just times that people will click for more information. So, and it's looking at these analytics really is what helps you maximize your engagement. All right. So when all else fails, and say you've got extra money, but you don't have time to manage your own Twitter or your own social media campaign, and you want to go out big, go to the experts. We went to VI Marketing in 2017, and we gave them some money, and we had help from TSET to do a targeted social media campaign. We gave them a list of zip codes that had the highest population of American Indian Alaska Natives living in Oklahoma, and they created us. We used the media they already had, but they targeted in those areas. And from that, when you're paying for advertisement, it's a little bit different. So whenever you see click boost that post on Facebook, don't do it. It's way more complicated than they lead on, and you usually end up wasting your money. And to avoid that, it's always best to go to the experts. For this, we had 58,000 reach. Frequency is 3.12. That means the average person saw each post 3 times. Had an 8.25 engagement rate. That means 8% of everybody that saw that engaged with the post somehow, clicked on it, liked it, commented. Those comments are positive and negative. We got this guy, what's his name? Oh, go back. This guy's got a name. I forgot what it is. But people really disliked him. Really, really did. And we had to stay on top of our comment section from all the hate that it did. So these posts got 171 comments, and I want to say probably 70% of them were negative. But it did get 3,000 likes, and 3,000 people did take action. We had a 30% conversion rate, which was way higher than most conversion rates, which worked out to about, I want to say it was like 10 people throughout the 6 months that we had this campaign running that actually they were able to track it and click on it and signed up to quit smoking for the helpline. So, if you got the money and not the time, hiring professionals is the way to go, and because they really, really know what they're doing. But if you just want to get out, what this was talking about today was if you had an event or some, you want to increase awareness or education around tobacco or whatever health topic you wanted to, this is what this was about. So here's some resources and tools. QR code generator, these are all on the presentation that you can download. Tiny URL, bit.ly, to word of warning about using these. They're free, but they will track your clicks and sell your information. That's how they make their money. Canva, you can use Canva or Adobe Express to make content. They have templates. They have different visual media and different types and fonts to make your flyers, to make your brochures, what have you. And then just a couple of links for some PDFs that the social media platforms actually put out themselves through the research that they've done to help increase your engagement. You got the Twitter campaign playbook, how to increase your followers. A lot of it's similar to it's all basically what we talked about today. The best practices for Facebook and Instagram, the blog post for Meta for media, and then the best practices for page posts on Facebook, also helpful. So Facebook has a voluminous help section. A lot of people don't click on because it gets pretty down in the weeds. And then this is from the page we saw earlier, the best times to post on social media. So I just want to leave you all with this. You play an essential role in helping people abstain from commercial tobacco use. Commercial tobacco users face a lifelong struggle and require scientifically proven treatment as they wage battle against nicotine addiction. And social media is just one of the tools at our disposal. So I'll quit sharing. Do we had any questions? I think there was one question we had. Is there a template of the photo video release form? Yes, and it is in the it should be in the materials for the session. If it's not, I can email it out to whoever wanted it. It's and there are also a lot of them available online too. So, any other questions? How much time we got?
We have like 3 minutes.
Wow.
I have a question. The business for Meta thing that you were using, does that have a subscription cost or is that free?
Yeah, that's just free.
Awesome.
Yeah, if you have like if you have a business page and you're an administrator, you have access to it. So yeah, I got access to the health board's Facebook page way back when, because making lots of backup posts.
That's great.
And it cuts out me having to pester somebody in an organization to do it for me. So
Yeah, I was also going to add that it seriously is so important to use what is, quote unquote, trending now, as you were saying.
yes.
I have social media pages for our dachshund breeding business. And whenever I just post posts, I get about 16 likes. Like the most likes I've ever gotten is 16. I made a reel the other day and I got over 2,000 likes.
Exactly. And it's another important thing is to keep in mind, studies have shown that having a dog in any post, or not just a dog, but having a pet or an animal vastly improves your engagement and content.
That's incredible. Yeah.
Because it's like
with the video, apparently.
yeah, and babies too. It's like P.T. Barnum said, babies and babies and so pets and babies always still the same. That still holds true today. So if you have any pet content, use it.
Well, we have about 1 more minute left. Does anyone else on here have any questions or comments? Well, I thank you. Oh, go ahead.
Nope. All right.
Thank you all so much for being here. Please do fill out your evaluation at the end of this session. And thank you so much, Erin, for this awesome presentation. I thoroughly enjoyed it myself, got a ton of really good insights that I can use in the future. So we really appreciate you. And I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your day and a good lunch.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Bye.